Hello everybody. Well, it's no surprise, you know where I am today. I've come up to St Mary's estate in Oldham. Reason being, we've not been round this estate before on the channel, but there's been an estate here on St Mary's which is just by the market. So obviously you've got the church there in the distance, and then adjacent to that you've got the market. But this particular area I know quite well because my mother was brought up in a house on Doncaster Walk, which is what we're looking at now. These houses were built after the slum clearance, so in the 1960s St Mary's was redeveloped, so there was a massive amount of people who lived on here in terraced houses, and basically some government members and whatever decided that basically they were slums and they were going to clear them and make room for new builds. So this is the houses that they put up now. The reason why I'm mentioning that is St Mary's has just gone through another redevelopment, but these houses they haven't touched. They've left it all of the same. But we're going to go on to Doncaster and I'm going to tell you a bit of a ghost story. So yeah, we'll walk down and I'll tell you the story. So I'm not going to tell you which house my mum lived in. She lived in there with her sisters and my grandma and granddad, and loads of stuff went on in the house, loads of stuff. Spooky stuff. But basically this particular night she'd been to her mate's, Vivian's, and she'd come home about 9 o'clock or something. She was old enough to be in the house by herself, Anyway, grandma and granddad, they were out for the evening or they'd gone away. So when she got back to the house was silent. There was nobody there. Anyway, when she walked in through the front door, she said there was a strange feeling in the house, like you were being watched. And she said she walked in, and I don't know if you're familiar with the staircase in these, you go in and then the staircases that go up, you turn around and then you go up again. But yeah, she told me that she went in and she looked up the stairs and the dog, Robbie, was at the sort of halfway up the stairs, shivering, would not come down, looked absolutely terrified. And then in the front room, the record player turned on and started singing that song, Someday We'll Be Together, by Diana Ross. She said it was just absolutely terrifying, and she thought, right, well, I'm not staying here. So she had to go and get the dog. The dog refused to move, so she had to go up the stairs to get it. She grabbed hold of him, brought him downstairs, put him on his leash. And she said as she was going out the door, so it's in one of these houses, she said as she was going out the door, she heard this noise like someone behind her. She just said it was shocking, but all sorts went on. But yeah, so that's the ghost story. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely quiet today, obviously because we are on lockdown, and just by the way, I am using this as my hours of exercise. I don't live too far from here, so I have been able to walk. What we're going to do now, we're going to go over, I want to show you the drill hall, which is just up here. Right, so what you're looking at now is the drill hall. Now this was built in 1897 and it was commissioned by the War Office. So they basically wanted somewhere where the people, I think it was the 6th Volunteer Regiment that initially went in here. Then when the First World War came about in 1914, the 10th Battalion, Manchester Regiment I believe it was mobilised from here, and they were the people, or some of the lads that were sent over to Gallipoli, yeah, and then onto the Western Front thereafter. during the First World War, but this is a Class 2 registered building, I believe. But I think the chances of this staying up are pretty slim, because I think about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer actually, there was a fire inside which basically just annihilated it from the back. I believe it's all open, and I actually came up here a few months ago to film it, but for some reason, I don't know why, I just didn't bother putting the video up on the channel. Can't tell you the reason why I didn't. Look at that tyre there. But yeah, the situation for this building now, I think it's looking pretty grim. We'll go around the back anyway and have a look. But look at that beautiful gate. Beautiful ironwork, look at that. But yeah, I think the damage now is so severe that it's never going to come back, ever. But such a shame, such a gorgeous building. Let's go around the back and have a look. So this is the back of it now. As you can see, the roof's completely gone. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the end. Someone's painted a huge British cross, huge St George cross there on the back. But yeah, shame. Some beautiful little birds up there, look. The pigeons, ooh yeah. Ooh, I bet they're living in there. They're not really a bit sick, them, to be honest with you. I like them, but anyway, come on, let's have a look round the rest of St Mary's while we're here and see what's what. We're just going to go up, I want to take you up Sunfield Road because I want to show you the old brewery houses. But before we do, look at this. This is some flats that were put up in the original build after the clearance, but I love these. You know, these walkways, they're really futuristic looking at, you know what I mean, from like the 60s, and they were built on these concrete slabs. But let's just, I'm gonna have to walk in the bloody road because literally look at the pavement. So yeah, we've got barber shop here, Tommyfield Cars, taxi company works from here. I think Revolution Radio's up here somewhere as well, you know. I think that's near the old White House building, you know, the pub. Oh, but yeah, I wanted to show you these. I mean, obviously people live in them, so I won't focus too heavily on the doors. But I drove past with my mum the other week and I just thought they were tremendous, and she said that these were the old brewery houses, so they were built for the people who worked in the brewery. Obviously they're all independently owned now, I would assume. Oldham Brewery went back in the 80s. Oh, I'll tell you something else as well. You know, if you watch my channel and you're familiar with the videos, you'll probably have seen the video that I did with my cousin Leanne up at the Farmer's Boy, where we went down into the cellar and we did some filming, and there was ghost activity, there was genuine ghost activity. Honestly, it was awful. Look how beautiful these are. But look at this one's got all tiling outside it as well. Anyway, what was I going to tell you? Last week they were stripping one of the walls in the bedroom, and they were stripping one of the walls in the bedroom. We'll walk back round now. They were stripping one of the walls in the bedroom, I'll tell you 3 times. And they uncovered all this writing. I'll try and find the picture and I'll put it in on the video, but there was like a big cross And then OB, you know, her RIP OB or something, which is Oldham Brewery, that's what I took it for anyway. And then all these names of these people. I've tried to Google the names and, you know, go on the various search engines that I do to try and find out who they are, but the reality is it's just a name. I've not got any information and it's fairly recent, so it's more difficult to find info. But I will put them on because there might be someone who sees this video that did that writing, or you know, was mentioned in the writing. My hand, I am not kidding, is freezing off. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes, warm up, and then I'll be back on. Look, you can see the Civic Centre in the distance there. Oh, it's -0 degrees outside. And I was saying to my mum before, she said, is it cold out? I said, not really. I said, it's alright, but it's alright until that bleeding wind picks up. When you're in Oldham, it's quite high up in it, so you're getting it. But what a nice day for filming. That sun's low today. Look at them old houses there. So these ones here, actually, it would have been left over from the slum clearance. These ones didn't get cleared away, so this gives you an idea of what the houses actually look like. See if we can get the street name. Evans Street. But that's not the only terrace that are left. There's more. I'm just going to get round this corner and then we'll have a look at them. Here, look. Again, you know, you'd say, well, what's so exciting about a terraced house, Sarah? You know, they're pretty much run-of-the-mill in Oldham, pardon the pun. But it is interesting to see these terraced houses, because these terraced houses would have been up for the original St Mary's. And like I said, I won't focus in because it's not fair, it's someone's house, but these would have been up for the original St Mary's. Why they were not knocked down, I wouldn't know, because you've got these new builds here, well, not new builds now, but you know, these are just left. So yeah, that's a bit of a mystery. That's nice, isn't it? Look at the state of that. Wow. Good grief. I tell you what, I'd be fuming if I lit. Mind you, they do it round near my house, but I'd be fuming. Oh, look at this, is the... Pretty sure this used to be a pub. Pretty sure this used to be a pub, didn't it? Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it's an hairdresser's now and a Premier Express. But this building here is the power building. So if you look at the top there, the generator. That's burning away, so this building provides all the, I think it's the heat and the electricity, isn't it, for St Mary's. So if that goes down, pretty sure your heating's knackered. And then you've got the Seventh-day Church. Look how beautiful that is. Obviously still a church, there's still a sign up there, they've got the heating on. Look at these doors. This one's obviously not used anymore because there's no handle on it. But look, that always fascinates me, you know, when you see where the steps have been worn down over the years. Oh, yeah, oh God, it's so cold. We're back near the drill hall. I was going to walk down the other part of St Mary's, but I'll be honest with you, I'm freezing.